Welcome to our deep dive into Arash Vossoughi's world-class wealth mindset.
Hmm.
It's endorsed by people like Mikey Stiller, and she says it's full of practical steps you can take to be successful in, all areas of your life.
Hmm.
But the thing is, Vossoughi, he doesn't just talk about money.
Right.
He connects wealth to like personal freedom and unlocking your potential, like everywhere.
Yeah, that's a really important point because a lot of people, when they hear wealth, they think just like your bank account, right?
Right.
Vassoi's talking about something much deeper, like having the freedom to, to live how you want to live
Yeah.
and achieve everything you can achieve.
And he shows this with the story of Liz, who she finds herself in a tough spot.
Hmm.
It's Christmas Eve. She's in the Target parking lot.
Oh, no.
It's raining, and then her credit card gets declined.
Oh, geez.
She can't even buy like basic groceries for her family's Christmas dinner. And it's just like a powerful example of how our thoughts can like trap us
Yeah.
and even like create that reality that we don't even want.
Yeah. Vasoi says we often get stuck recreating our past,
Mhm.
dwelling on what we can't do instead of creating the future and focusing on what we want. And he has this great analogy he uses.
Okay.
It's like, think about a scene from your favorite movie, right?
Okay.
Now think about a memory from your past. So like right now,
Yep.
both of them exist only in your mind, right? So when we just keep playing those same old negative stories from our past, we're basically giving them the power to control our,
Right.
our present and future.
Yeah, I love that analogy because it really makes you realize how much power we give to those old mental movies.
Mhm.
So how do we get out of that?
Well, Vasoi, he introduces this idea called the art of neutrality. It's basically looking at your past without judgment, just like watching a movie about somebody else.
Okay.
And he uses the farmer and the horse story to explain it.
Okay.
So the farmer, he keeps saying, could be, no matter what happens, good or bad, right? So like his horse runs away, comes back with all these wild stallions. His son breaks his leg, but then because of that injury, he doesn't get drafted.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, we can choose how we look at stuff, right?
Yeah.
Do we see it as a problem or like, hey, maybe this is an opportunity?
Right.
And how we look at it really changes our mindset and then like our actual reality.
So we need to change our mindset, but like, how do our minds even work? Vasoi explains it with this stick person graphic.
Yeah.
It's like an easy way to understand how our conscious mind and our subconscious mind and our body, how they all work
So
together.
the chain reaction, right? So your conscious mind, it chooses what to believe, what to ignore, and then your subconscious mind, it just takes those thoughts as the truth.
Mm.
And then your body acts based on that.
Mm.
So if you're always thinking negative thoughts, you're basically telling your subconscious, hey, this is how it is, and then you act that way.
And he shows this with Chris, who's a sculptor, and he's like really struggling like with self-doubt because he's gotten some bad feedback.
Yeah, it shows how those messages we hear, they can get stuck in our subconscious.
Right.
And they can mess us up, even if we're, like, really talented.
Yeah, that makes me think about the work Vasoi did with Mike. He was this guy who had a lot of financial success, but was super unhappy.
Right. He felt like he was just working all the time, even though he had money. Shows that, money isn't everything. You
Yeah.
can be rich on paper, but still feel trapped because of your mindset.
So it's like you got to get your mindset right to be successful on your own terms.
Exactly.
And this is where Vassoi's 4 pillars of a world-class wealth mindset come in.
And remember, these pillars apply to anything, not just money.
Right.
So whether you want to be better at work, have better relationships, be healthier, like these ideas can help you build that foundation for success.
Okay, so what are they?
The 4 pillars, okay, they are image, standard, attitude, and discipline.
Okay.
We're going to go into each one so you can really see what they mean and how you can, use them in your life.
This is getting good.
Yeah.
So let's start with that first one, image.
Okay.
Vasoi tells the story of Terrence, who visualized himself in his dream job before he even moved to San Francisco, and he got the job.
It's powerful stuff.
It is. So this is where visualization comes into play, right?
Exactly. It's about creating that picture in your mind. You see yourself with all those qualities you want.
Right.
And you see yourself achieving what you want to achieve. But Vasoi, he takes it further.
Okay.
He's got this practical exercise where you write a script of your ideal self, but in the present tense. So like,
Okay.
instead of saying, I want to be a confident speaker, you'd say, I am a confident speaker. I engage audiences with my powerful words.
Oh, so I get it. So instead of I want to be, it's like
It's I am.
I am that. Okay, got it. But then what?
You read it a lot. You visualize yourself living it. You really feel it. And most importantly, you take action. Vossoughi says, do one thing every week that takes you closer to that vision. So like network, take a class, even like change the way you dress to like match that identity.
So it's like by taking action, you're making your subconscious believe it.
Exactly. You're literally changing your story.
Okay, so that's image. Now, what about the second pillar, standard?
Okay, so for standard, Vossoughi uses the story of Tiffany.
Oh, yeah.
She was getting, kind of taken advantage of at work.
Yeah, her boss promised her the raise, the promotion, and then totally went back on it.
Classic example of needing to raise your standards.
It really is. It made me think about all the times I might be settling and not even realize it.
Happens to the best of us.
It does, but how do you raise your standard? It seems so hard.
Vossoughi explains it's not about being, like arrogant or demanding.
Right.
It's about knowing what you're worth and not accepting less than you deserve.
Hmm.
And he says, like, standard always wins. Like, even if that's the only thing you change, just raising your standards can make a huge difference in your life.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It can attract better opportunities, better relationships.
If you don't value yourself, no one else will.
Exactly. So Vossoughi, he says, take some time to think,
Okay.
Ask yourself, what's really important to me? What won't I compromise on? What are my values?
Okay.
And then look at different parts of your life, like your work, your relationships, your health, your money.
Yeah.
And see where you might be settling and make a choice to expect more.
So it's like, I'm drawing a line.
Yeah.
This is what I accept. Anything less is not going to work for me.
That's it. And remember Vossoughi's idea of the DWG?
Yeah.
Someone who knows what they want, where they're going, and they don't let anything stop them.
Right.
That's all about raising your standard.
Yeah, it's like that unwavering drive that I'm going to make this happen kind of attitude.
You got it. Vossoughi says success is an inside job. You got to build that strength and belief in yourself first before you can have success on the outside.
So it's not just setting high standards.
Right.
It's having the confidence to go after them.
Exactly. And this goes with another important point. Fear and faith reside in the same house. Think about times you took a chance and it worked out. Use those memories to help you now.
That's a good point, yeah. We've all had those times we pushed through and did something great.
Exactly.
Remembering that can, like, really help your confidence.
It reminds you what you're capable of.
So we've talked about image and standard.
Mm-hmm.
What's the third pillar?
The third pillar is attitude. And remember Rachel, the dancer who changed her career just by changing her attitude?
Yeah, she was stuck, but then she realized her attitude was the problem.
It's so easy to get caught up in negativity and doubt,
It is.
But Rachel shows us that we can choose a different way to look at things.
So how did she do it? What did she change?
She decided to focus on what she was good at, what she could control, and she started seeing her past, even the tough parts, as like preparation for something great. Vossoughi says your mindset has got to be stronger than your emotions.
Yeah.
Rachel, she had the talent, the skills, but her attitude was holding her back.
That reminds me of the Acres of Diamonds story.
Oh, yeah.
The farmer who sells his farm to go find diamonds and then finds out his farm was sitting on a diamond mine the whole time.
Exactly. We often miss the stuff right in front of us because we're so focused on what we think we're missing.
It's so true. So we need to shift from like a scarcity mindset to like an abundance mindset.
Vossoughi has a good exercise for this, he asks. How do you feel when you think about money? Are you excited, anxious, confused? Thinking about those feelings helps you see how your subconscious beliefs are affecting your money decisions.
It's amazing how much our subconscious is running the show without us even knowing it.
It really is.
So we talk about image, standard, attitude. What about that last pillar? Discipline.
Discipline, that's the key to turning a positive attitude into, real results. And this is where the Michael Jordan story comes in.
Oh, yeah. Not just his skills on the court, but his work ethic, his dedication to always getting better.
He got cut from his high school basketball team, but he didn't give up.
Wow.
He used that to push himself harder.
So discipline is what separates the dreamers from the doers.
It's about showing up even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it.
But how do you build that kind of discipline?
Vossoughi talks about living from the end.
Okay.
It's like, picture yourself already having what you want and then do things that match that vision consistently.
Mm.
He also suggests the $100 bill challenge.
What's that?
You carry a $100 bill, or the biggest bill you can afford, with you all the time
Right.
to remind yourself of abundance.
Okay.
It's a simple way to, train your mind for wealth.
I like it, like a little reminder in your pocket.
Exactly.
So we've covered a lot. A world-class wealth mindset, it's not just about money, it's about personal freedom. Mastering your mind, aligning your actions with your goals.
Creating a life of abundance in all areas.
So where do we go from here? How do we take these 4 pillars and make them real in our lives?
That's where the real fun starts.
Okay.
In the next part of our deep dive, we'll explore specific strategies and exercises for using image, standard, attitude, and discipline in your everyday life.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Welcome back. We just went through the 4 pillars of a world-class wealth mindset from Arash Vossoughi's book, Image, Standard, Attitude, and Discipline. Now I'm ready to get practical. How do we use these pillars to make real changes?
Well, Vossoughi has some great exercises and examples. Remember Terrence, the guy who visualized himself in his dream job?
Yeah, the one who got the job. It shows how powerful visualization can be.
Right.
But I want to know, how did he actually make it happen? It can't just be daydreaming.
Right. In the image and action chapter, Vossoughi makes it clear that visualization is just the start.
Okay.
You have to embody that image. Remember that exercise we talked about. Writing a script about your ideal self, but in the present tense.
All right, look, I am a successful entrepreneur instead of I want to start a business.
Exactly.
But then what? What do you do with the script?
Read it often, visualize yourself living it, really feel it, and the most important part, take action.
Okay.
Vossoughi says choose one specific thing to do every week that brings you closer to that vision. It could be networking, taking a class, even changing your wardrobe to fit that identity.
So it's not enough to just think positive?
Right.
You got to take action. You got to back it up.
It's like you're sending a message to your subconscious, this is who I am and I'm proving it.
Exactly. You're rewriting your story.
Okay, now let's switch gears to the second pillar. Standard.
Okay.
Remember Tiffany's story where she wasn't getting treated fairly at work?
Yeah, her boss promised her a raise and a promotion and then took it all back. Talk about needing to raise your standards.
It made me think about all the times I might be settling without even realizing it.
Me too. It happens to all of us. But how do you actually do it? Raise your standards. It feels kind of overwhelming.
Vossoughi says it's not about being cocky or pushy. It's about knowing your worth and not accepting anything less in any area of your life. And he says, standard always wins. Even if that's the only thing you change, just raising your standards can change everything.
I like that.
It can bring better opportunities, better relationships.
Yes. It's true.
Yeah.
If you don't value yourself, no one else will.
Exactly. So Vossoughi suggests you take some time to really think about it. Ask yourself, what truly matters to me? What are my non-negotiables? What values are most important?
Okay.
Then look at your work, your relationships, your health, your finances.
Yeah.
And see where you might be settling and make the decision to expect more.
So I'm drawing a line in the sand.
Yeah.
This is what I will accept, and I won't settle for anything less.
Exactly. And this reminds me of Vossoughi's idea of the Da-Ji.
Oh, yeah.
Someone who knows what they want, where they're going, and doesn't let anything stop them.
Right.
That's all about raising your standards.
It's having that drive, that determination, I'm going to make it happen.
Exactly. Vossoughi says success is an inside job. You have to build that inner strength, that belief in yourself first,
Okay.
before you can achieve anything on the outside.
So it's not just about setting those standards high.
Right.
It's about having the confidence to go after them.
You got it. And here's another important point. Fear and faith reside in the same house.
Okay.
Think about those times you took a risk and it paid off. Use those experiences to power you forward.
That's a good point. We've all had those moments, where we pushed past the fear and succeeded.
Exactly.
Remembering that can really give you a boost.
It shows you what you're truly capable of.
So we've covered image and standard. Now what about attitude, that third pillar?
Right, attitude. Remember Rachel, the dancer who changed her whole career by changing her attitude?
Yeah, she was stuck. Then she realized it was her attitude that was holding her back.
It's so easy to fall into those negative thought patterns,
It really is.
But Rachel shows us that we can choose a different perspective.
So how did she change things? What did she do differently?
She started focusing on what she was good at, what she could control, and she started seeing her past, even the tough parts, as preparation, like she's being trained for something great.
Like getting ready.
Exactly. Vossoughi says your mindset has to be stronger than your emotions.
Hmm.
Rachel, she had the talent, the skills, but her attitude was sabotaging her.
It's like the acres of diamonds story. The farmer who sells his farm to go find diamonds, only to find out his farm was a diamond mine all along.
We often miss the good stuff right in front of us because we're focused on what we think we don't have.
That's so true. We need to shift from that scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset.
And Vossoughi has a good exercise for this, he asks. How do you feel when you think about money? Excited, anxious, confused.
This is a good question.
Thinking about those feelings helps you see how your subconscious beliefs are affecting your money decisions.
It's crazy how much our subconscious is running the show without us even knowing it.
It really is.
So image, standard, attitude. What about that final pillar, discipline?
Discipline, that's how you turn that positive attitude into real, tangible results. And this is where the Michael Jordan story comes in.
Oh, yeah, not just his talent on the court, but his dedication, his work ethic, always pushing himself to be better.
He was even cut from his high school basketball team, but he didn't let that stop him.
Wow, really?
He used that as fuel to work even harder.
So discipline separates those who dream from those who do.
You got it, showing up, even when it's hard, even when you don't want to.
But how do you build that discipline?
Vossoughi has this idea of living from the end.
Okay.
Picture yourself already having achieved your goal, and then do things that match that vision every single day.
Okay.
He also has this fun challenge, the $100 bill challenge.
Okay, what's that?
You carry a $100 bill, or the biggest bill you have with you all the time. Just remind yourself of abundance.
So it's like a little physical reminder.
Exactly. It's
What's
a
that?
simple way to reprogram your mind for wealth.
So we've covered a lot, a world-class wealth mindset. It's not just about money, it's about personal freedom.
Right.
Mastering your mind, making your actions match your goals.
It's about creating that abundant life.
In all areas, not just financially.
Exactly.
But where do we go from here? How do we take these 4 pillars and make them real in our everyday lives?
That's where things get really exciting.
Okay, good.
In the next part of our deep dive, we'll explore some specific strategies and exercises for using image, standard, attitude, and discipline every day.
Okay, I can't wait to hear it. Welcome back to our deep dive into Arash Vossoughi's world-class wealth mindset. We talk about his 4 pillars, those building blocks for success: image, standard, attitude, and discipline.
Right.
And we've even explored some ways you can start using them in your life.
Yeah.
But it feels like there's something bigger here.
Right.
Something Vossoughi calls raising the global standard.
What does that even mean?
Well, it's where Vossoughi, he challenges us to go beyond just having a world-class wealth mindset.
Okay.
It's about actually living it.
Okay.
And that means, using your influence to make the world better.
So it's not just about achieving your own goals. It's about helping others achieve theirs too.
Exactly. It's about having that abundance mentality, not just for yourself, but for everyone. And Vossoughi, he starts this section with a story about a husband who, he's not really listening to his wife.
Okay.
He hears her, but he's not really present,
Okay.
And this is to show the difference between just hearing someone and genuinely serving them, being there for them, really listening, putting their needs first.
I can totally relate to that. Sometimes I'm listening, but I'm really thinking about something else.
Yeah, we've all been there.
It's I'm only hearing the words, not the meaning.
Vossoughi says serving others, it's not about, doing some big gesture or giving tons of money to charity.
It's about those little things, being kind, showing up for people, both in small ways and big ways, consistently.
So it's about being a good person, but also a good influence. And I guess, focusing on others actually makes you happier too.
Vossoughi lists some actual benefits of serving others, things more happiness, stronger relationships, even new opportunities that come your way because you're putting out that positive energy.
The more you give, the more you get.
Exactly. And he tells a great story about this guy, Scott, who donated millions to charity, but nobody knew about it. And someone said to him, you should buy a fancy watch so you look rich.
Okay.
And he said, I am rich. I don't need to look rich.
I love that. It's about being wealthy, not just looking wealthy.
And it goes with Vossoughi's idea of the impression of increase, leaving everything and everyone better than you found them.
So creating that ripple effect, helping others as you grow.
Exactly.
So how do we apply this to the 4 pillars? How do we help others cultivate a world-class wealth mindset?
Vossoughi gives specific strategies for each pillar. So for image, It's about encouraging people, pointing out their strengths, helping them challenge those negative thoughts.
Being that positive voice, helping them see their potential.
Right. And for Standard, it's about leading by example, supporting them, keeping each other accountable, encouraging a growth mindset.
And attitude, I'm guessing it's about being positive, encouraging self-awareness, and positive self-talk.
You got it. And for Discipline, it's about helping people set clear goals, break them down into steps, and create systems to stay on track. It's about empowering them.
So it's like we're all in this together, supporting each other to be our best.
Exactly.
Now, Vossoughi ends the book with a chapter that really got to me. Wealth beyond money.
Yeah.
He talks about Roger, this guy who's looking back on his life. He's wealthy, not just financially, but like in every way.
Right. He's achieved success in all areas of life.
So he's got it all.
Roger cultivated wealth in the things that really matter: physical, mental, emotional, relational, and spiritual. And because of that, he feels fulfilled and at peace.
It's a powerful reminder that true wealth is about so much more than just money.
Vossoughi says each of those areas contributes to our well-being, our sense of abundance.
Okay.
And he gives tips for building wealth in each area.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Okay, so for physical wealth, it's about prioritizing your health, exercise, good food, enough sleep.
Makes sense.
For mental wealth, it's learning, challenging your beliefs, being curious and open-minded.
Okay.
Emotional wealth, it's about knowing yourself, managing your emotions, being resilient.
What about relational wealth?
That's about those close connections with family, friends, your communities, spending quality time with the people you love.
And spiritual wealth.
That's about connecting to something bigger than yourself, whether it's religion, spirituality, nature, or just finding your purpose.
Finding what gives your life meaning.
Exactly.
It's a beautiful approach to wealth. It's not just about what you have.
Right.
It's about who you are and how you live.
And to wrap it all up, Vossoughi shares some of his most memorable quotes. He calls them Vossisms.
Ooh, I love a good quote.
Well, there's change is difficult in the beginning, gets comfortable in the middle, and it's beautiful at the end.
That's encouraging. Change can be tough,
Yeah.
but it's worth it.
Another one is discipline takes you where motivation doesn't.
So true. We can't always rely on just feeling motivated.
Right.
Sometimes you got to dig deep and be disciplined.
He also says, make a committed decision and stop screwing around with yourself.
Ooh, I like that one for those times when you're procrastinating or doubting yourself.
It's a call to action. Just decide and go for it.
And finally, successes in our failures.
Love that one.
Yeah, it's a reminder that we'll make mistakes, but it's how we react to them that counts.
It's about learning and growing from those setbacks.
This deep dive has been incredible. It's not just about wealth. It's about freedom, self-mastery, making a difference. It's about realizing that we all have the power to create a better life.
For ourselves and for others.
Now, before we go, we'd like to leave you with a thought. Vossoughi says, our past prepares us for greatness. So what one experience from your past could be the key to your next big achievement?
Think about that. Journal about it. Talk to someone about it.
We hope you enjoyed this deep dive, and we encourage you to check out Vossoughi's book and see how you can use these principles in your own life.
It's a great book.
If you like this episode, share with your friends, leave a review, and tell us what topics you want us to explore next.
We'd love to hear from you.
Thanks for listening.
Did you get any of that?